Hello, 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 hello. This is Tevs of the Unknown, and I'm here because I want to discuss predictions, winners for the first ever history making 2 night SummerSlam that is coming August the 2nd and the 3rd. Now, there was a match that was added to the card uh, last night on SmackDown. For those of you who didn't watch SmackDown, it was a very fun SmackDown. I thoroughly enjoyed myself. I feel like they're still kind of getting the footing of dealing with going back to 2 hours, but I think they'll find their footing. We'll see. I'll give it like another month or two to see where they're at, and we'll go from there. Although I did hear that there may be a draft. Don't that's take that with a grain of salt though. Um, it's an unofficial thing, so we'll see what happens after SummerSlam. But anyways, let's go ahead and jump right into this. Ooh, all right. So this is from Sean Ross Sapp of Fightful Select. Guys, definitely check him out. Fightful Select and Sean, these guys right here. Uh, One of the very few people that if you want scoops, you got to go to them. You got to go to him. So let's go ahead and jump right into this. Obviously, this was updated from last night. Obviously, this wasn't updated from last night, but I guess this has what 1, 2, 3, 6 matches. So I'm guessing the TLC match will be on Sunday because I think the Sunday has only 5 matches, so it makes sense if we're gonna do 6. Unless there's another match that gets added next week, but I highly doubt that. But this is a lot with with only 2 weeks to necessarily build for some of these matches. Um, because um, TKO loves churning out all these PLEs with very little build, but it's obviously a money grab. But without further ado, let's jump right into this. Okay, so we'll start off with Raquel Rodriguez and Roxanne Perez versus Alexa Bliss and Charlotte Flair. Now, for the tag team titles. Now, no, I have been critical of Charlotte in the past because I always felt like she gets like forced into the title scenes, into the world heavyweight title scenes, and it just like it feels like forced. It's like you don't have a plethora of other people to go in there into that spot. But I'm very happy for her. Reading her interviews and stuff like that, and the personal stuff she goes through, and it's tough. And I'm not saying that she was right in some of the things she did, at the build of WrestleMania, but going back and thinking of it, there was things obviously that shouldn't have happened to her. But I always felt that if you're the veteran, you've got to do better. Rookies 1 or 2 year wrestlers will make that mistake. It's up to a veteran to go and course correct and make itself better. But obviously, we're all human. Charlotte Flair has been going through a lot recently, um, and to get those chants at Evolution, we want Charlotte, and for her to be so happy about that. Um, so I'm happy for her, and I really like this storyline that she's got with Alexa Bliss. It's really fun, and I just feel like she's. It just feels like she's more herself than trying to live up to the Charlotte Flair name. I feel like you're starting to see more of who she is internally that she never really got to show that. So because she's just trying to keep up with being Charlotte Flair, the daughter of Ric Flair, and now we're just kind of starting to see more and more of her, and I'm enjoying it, and I'm very happy that she's getting such a positive response. Um, But Alexa Bliss and Charlotte Flair versus Raquel Rodriguez and Roxanne Perez. This is a tough one because there's the story of Liv coming back and having to deal with Roxanne and Raquel being tag team champions and like the bond strengthening while defending those championships. To have that storyline. But on the other side, Alexa Bliss and Charlotte Flair are so much fun. I don't want them. I don't want them to break up. I don't want them to Charlotte to probably turn heel on Alexa if they lose, or vice versa. I don't want that to happen. I want them to. I want this tag team to stay for Charlotte, for Charlotte's benefit, personal benefit, and just because I think they'll be fun. This is tough. This is really tough. You know what? Screw it. Bold prediction: Alexa Bliss and Charlotte Flair, they win this one. And you know what? I think it'll be a fun tag team to have to go up against, and I just love their dynamic. So yeah, I like it better than Raquel and Roxanne's. Obviously, long game is the Liv Morgan thing, but short term, I say Alexa Bliss and Charlotte Flair. Go ahead and give them the tag team titles. Raquel and Roxanne can win them back eventually, and then when Liv comes back, she can say, "Well, I didn't lose my tag team championship, you did, but they did." So the new champs would officially kind of be Raquel and Roxanne. So that'd be very interesting right there. Because Liv's gonna want a title back, but technically she can't get it back because they lost. They would have lost the first bout, and defending those titles in Liv's name essentially, and then getting them back. But this time it's Roxanne, nothing to do with Liv. It's Roxanne and Raquel winning it. So I'm gonna go with Alexa Bliss and Charlotte Flair for the win. Randy Orton and Jelly Roll versus Drew McIntyre and Logan Paul. I think the normal consensus would be Randy Orton and Jelly Roll, but I'm going to go with Drew McIntyre and Logan Paul. Just because I just feel like Randy Orton will have to do so much against Drew McIntyre, who is, my God, that dude is built. That dude is a man. Okay? Let's be a man. That dude is a man. So, and Logan Paul, as much as I hate his guts, I hate him so much. That dude's a fantastic, athletic competitor in the ring. And Jelly Rolls is barely starting out. So for me, I feel like Randy Orton's gonna have to pick up too much of the slack. I think Jelly Roll will get like a little fun comeback, kind of where you like in the game where you press triangle and then they start doing their finisher, the little signature shit, whatever. I think, and if you saw from SmackDown, Logan Paul was clearly kind of having to cover a lot for Jelly Roll in that little endeavor that they had. So I think Drew McIntyre and Logan Paul are going to win this one. But I do feel like Randy Orton and Jelly Roll will have like an aftermatch, whatever, with Drew McIntyre, Logan Paul, and they'll be the ones standing tall. But at the end of the day, the winners will be Drew McIntyre, Logan Paul. That's Drew McIntyre is just, yeah, that dude's something else, man, and he deserves a WWE Championship match very soon. I want him to be champion. I also want somebody else to be champion, but we're gonna get into that later. Next up, Sami Zayn versus Karrion Kross. This will be their third bout, so we'll see who wins this rubber match. Sami Zayn and Karrion's been trying to bring out the worst version of Sami Zayn. Sami Zayn's holding true to himself. I feel like Sami Zayn is in that Mick Foley role where he's so beloved, but he loses to a lot of up and coming guys or like top guys and stuff like that. And Sami Zayn to me is top talent too. And I think eventually he'll get his World Heavyweight Championship win. Maybe this year at SummerSlam. I mean, this year at WrestleMania. No, next year at WrestleMania. We'll see. But here's the thing. Karrion Kross and Scarlett have not gotten their, as far as I've heard so far, they have not gotten like an extension. They haven't been offered a contract extension, so they may be on their way out, which they're supposed to leave in August, I do believe. So it comes down to if Karrion Kross wins this, I think he's sticking around because I don't see why you would have Sami Zayn lose to somebody who's going on the way out. Uh, the only way that happens is if they're like a household name. That's the only thing that makes sense. Like with Edge, what happened with Edge and Sheamus, but clearly that's not Karrion Kross. Karrion Kross is not a household name like Edge, so it doesn't make sense for him to win and then go off and go wherever he's gonna go. If so, for me, if Karrion Kross wins, that means he's getting a contract extension along with Scarlett. If Sami Zayn wins, and then it could be curtains on Karrion Kross in WWE. Um, yeah, so I think if I'm gonna go with it, based on what I feel like they could do and there's potential there, I'm gonna say Karrion Kross beats Sami Zayn just because I think that you're really starting to see Karrion Kross kind of have those promos and really starting to utilize social media and all that stuff, and it really started to me. Becky Lynch kind of started the whole Twitter thing, but I think The Rock exploded with it during WrestleMania 40's build with him and Roman and Cody and Seth. My God, take me back to that build. That was, I think, probably one of the single greatest builds, if not the greatest builds to a WrestleMania that I have seen in a long time. So, anyways, we'll see. But I'm gonna go with my gut here, and I'm gonna say Karrion Kross wins this one. I think he's gonna need a contract extension. Okay. Next up, Tiffany Stratton, Jade Cargill. This one they've kind of teased a bit. I think it was after WrestleMania, if I'm not. I think it was after WrestleMania, before WrestleMania. I'm trying to think. I think it was after WrestleMania. Bear with me, but and they kind of had a match, but then that got interrupted. So now Jade Cargill wins Queen of the Ring, and earns the right to fight Tiffany Stratton, who is still champion. I think she went over 200 days, so it's been on Tiffy time for a bit. But I think Tiffy time may be coming to a stop at SummerSlam. I just feel like Jade, is done with the whole Naomi thing. She's done. She's got her bit. Tiffany, I don't see any new challengers for Tiffany to go after, unless that's going to save her for Bianca becoming champion when she comes back. Please, I hope that she doesn't have to have surgery on that finger, Bianca Belair. I hope that she just needs to just heal it some more, because surgery is going to take even more time. So she'll probably, if it's surgery, she probably won't not be back until Survivor Series at the least. At the most, they'll save her as an entrant into the Royal Rumble, and I feel like she'll win it there. And she'll face Jade at WrestleMania. And there you go. So, there we go. Tiffany Stratton versus Jade Cargill. I think Tiffany's going to have to carry a little bit, and it's kind of crazy saying that, but I just feel like Jade is doing better as a singles competitor. There's still some things that she needs to work. I feel like this still needs to work on, but I just think her aura is just so high to me, and I think WWE needs to capitalize off of it and just go ahead and put the title on her, and they'll see if she can grow. This is where you throw somebody in the deep waters and see them swim. Maybe that's not the most perfect analogy because of oh man, I don't really want to get into it, but man, I wish I could take that back. But anyways, yeah, Tiffany Stratton loses to Jade Cargill. Jade wins. Roman Reigns and Jey Uso versus Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed. I feel like this is going to start the whole the Saturday night one, because Roman Reigns has famously said, "I'm either starting the night or I'm ending the night." So, so Roman Reigns and Jey Uso versus Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed. I feel like Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed will have a great, strong showing. I think they'll probably be the most dominant tag team in this match, just because you want to really show them off, and because I know that Roman Reigns and Jey Uso are going to win this one. The OG bloodline comes together. Um, Roman Reigns does win this, and Roman and Jey do win this one. But I just feel like they're gonna have a great showing for Bronson Reed and Braun Breaker. I'm pretty sure they had other plans for happening SummerSlam, but again, another injury bug. Seth Rollins injures his knee doing the same move that he tried to do on Jinder Mahal. Uh, it's just like it sucks, but it's just like sometimes if you want to preserve a story, sometimes you just gotta have to let up, and it's kind of tough telling somebody like Seth Rollins to let up a little bit. But there's just sometimes you just wish that they would just be a little bit more careful in the sense of, and it's a freak accident, it happens all the time, but I mean it doesn't happen all the time. It's one of those things where you keep doing something and it just doesn't, and nothing bad happens until one time. So, well, two times in his case, but it just, you never think lightning strikes twice. But yeah, I like this. Roman Reigns and Jey Uso. I think it's going to be a really great match, and I think Braun Breaker is really going to have like probably the breakout. Um, he's going to break out in that match for sure. I think everyone's going to see him up against Roman Reigns. That's going to be great. I'm still waiting for Braun Breaker versus Jacob Fatu, but we'll get there eventually. Um, Last but not least, CM Punk versus Gunther. This one did not have so much of a build. That barely starting to truly get into it. They kind of teased it when a week before Saturday night's main event, when CM Punk pushed Gunther and told him to get the hell out the way. It's like stay out of his way. And now they can't stay out of each other's way because CM Punk won the gauntlet and will be facing Gunther. I think this will be match of the night for sure. I think that CM Punk and Gunther are going to tear down the house. As much I really want to see CM Punk win gold here in WWE, I don't see Gunther losing. Though it would be pretty cool because then it gives Seth Rollins to cash in on, right? God, it really does. Because here's the thing, you tried Gunther with the World Heavyweight Championship, and to me, I don't think he was so good in his Intercontinental Championship reign. It just seems like it's so hard to follow that up with the World Heavyweight Championship reign, because his IC reign, it was because there was nobody, to me, there wasn't enough guys in the mid card that could stand up to him because he felt like such a main event star. And now that he's in the main event picture, that I think there's just so many more qualified and more main eventer aura superstars than him. And so that's where he's kind of stuck in. I think he's stuck in between A plus and A minus and B plus. I think he's stuck in between there. But he has picked it up some. I will give him credit for that. My mind is telling me Gunther, but I'm gonna go with CM Punk. I'm gonna say CM Punk wins this, because CM Punk wins this, and then you spend Paul Heyman and Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed are trying to tear that championship away from him, and eventually Seth Rollins returns, cashes in on CM Punk, and becomes champion. That would be crazy. The amount of crap that would happen right there. So we're gonna go with that. I'm gonna say it. CM Punk beats Gunther and becomes the new champion at SummerSlam. I'm saying it. I'm gonna go with it. All right. Now that's in for Saturday's night one. That will be on August 2nd, 6 p.m. Eastern, 3 p.m. Pacific time. Uh, Man, it just keeps getting earlier and earlier, doesn't it? Oh my god! But it's fine. It's 5 p.m. It's not that bad, especially. And also, if anybody's listening over there at Netflix, can we please have Raw at like 5, at like 6 p.m. Eastern or something? So it won't be so late watching it. But yeah, I like this. This is gonna be fun. Not a lot of prep, not a lot of build time again, because TKO. But I think this is a fun. I think this is going to be a very fun night one. All right, so next up, Sunday, August 3rd, 6 p.m. Eastern, 3 p.m. Pacific time. The historic two-night SummerSlam in New Jersey. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna start off with the match that was added from last night, which was what happened after the main event of SmackDown, which had Andrade and Rey Fenix versus the Wyatt Six, and it was a really great match. It was a lot of it was fun, and then Andrade goes and hits his finisher. He's gonna pin him, get the 1-2-3, but then Nikki Cross pulls out the referee. Referee calls for the belt for disqualification, and then Andrade gets attacked by Rowan, and it's just an ensuing amount of chaos, because then pretty much the whole tag team division comes out, and Eric Rowan's handling them like crazy. I'm like, Jesus Christ, anybody gonna stop this man? And then the Street Profits come in there, and that's when the tables start to turn, and more of the Y6 starts coming out to help and get involved in this whole situation. DIY came out with DIY came out with Nick Aldis, and then they got taken out by Fraxium. And it just ascended into chaos. And then Nick Aldis said he had enough, and said that, you know what, the tag team title is going to be held high high above their heads, and it's going to be a tables, ladders, and chairs match, a TLC match, and basically, dude, I was so ecstatic about this. This match is going to be so freaking fun, and I would not be surprised if this is a match that they maybe start out with to get everybody all jacked up. Or then again, looking at this match card, it could be the final match. I mean, not the final match, but it's a match in between, like the middle match. So it could be that too. Because yeah, the way this card is structured, or like what the matches are on this card for night 2. But okay, so here we go. TLC match. We got the Wyatt Six, the champions, versus, this is a lot, bear with me, Andrade and Rey Fenix. I don't know why I keep saying El Rey Fenix. Well, I don't know why I want to say that. Alright, anyways. The Street Profits, Motor City Machine Guns, and DIY. So that's 10 people in the ring. And that's not even counting the fact that we're going to have, obviously, Wyatt Six members get involved. We could even get Candice LeRae involved in this because of Nikki Cross. Ooh. No, do not. Alright. It's going to be chaotic. It's going to be fun. And my God, there's not only just that, but there are storylines built in with each and one of these tag teams, because none of them like each other because of the stories that were built in this division, which has been such a bright spot for SmackDown for so long. It's one of the few things that they've had an advantage over on Raw. So I just feel like it's too early for the Y6 to lose. As much as I feel like I want, as much as I feel like I want somebody else to win, like Fraxium, or maybe Andrade and Rey Fenix. I did not like the Street Profits losing. I was not a fan of them losing. I felt like that was just a really crap thing to do. You fed them to the Wyatt Six. But I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna say the Wyatt Six win this just because there's too many members. They'll get involved, and it's just not their time to lose it yet. They just barely got them. They're not gonna lose it, at least anytime soon. But we'll see what happens. Maybe around the Royal Rumble, but for sure, they'll if they still have it by WrestleMania, they're losing it by then. There's no way they're holding it for that long. All right. After that, we got Becky Lynch versus Lyra Valkyria for the Intercontinental Championship, Women's Intercontinental Championship. I think the stipulation was that from Becky's side was that if Becky won, Lyra cannot challenge for the IC title as long as he holds it. So there's that. That's happened before with some wrestlers. So I feel like it would be cool for Lyra to win because Becky's got that TV show that she's got to shoot for. I don't know when she's supposed to go shoot that TV show. That she's not just like a special guest star. She's co-starring in it. So it's a pilot. So then again, you don't know, like, after that, how long that she would be out. So that's a lot of uncertainty. But I just feel like Becky's winning this one. And she's only winning it because Bayley's going to interfere. Because she wants to be at SummerSlam. SmackDown went off the air. She had a little rant about not having a match at SummerSlam and blaming Lyra for that. So I feel like Bayley's going to interfere and cost Lyra the Intercontinental Women's Championship. Yeah, I think jealousy is going to rear its ugly head. And yeah, Bayley's going to do something shiesty. And Becky's going to win and retain. And we'll see a new challenger after that. Because then I think Lyra and Bayley are going to have their own feud. And I really enjoyed Lyra's growth as she's had this feud with Becky. So I'm only hoping going forward Lyra can continue going on that rise. I love baby faces that have an attitude. I do not like them so much when they're just so chippy and hey, everything's fine. It's just like very PG-ish. You know what made the attitude so great? And it wasn't just because of all the crazy stuff that happened. Obviously, that was part of it. But the thing was, those baby faces had an attitude. Rock had an attitude. Yeah, he'd have to go after the bad guys that were in his way. But if a baby face like Stone Cold Steve Austin was in his way, he'd still treat them the same way. The only things that changed differently were that the heels, you could tell they used shiesty means to win a match, whereas the babyface still won or lost in a babyface manner. So I like Lyra having an edge to her. But at the end of the day, I think Becky wins. Moving on to the next Intercontinental Championship match, Dominic Mysterio versus AJ Styles. This has been really fun, filled with costume changes and prayers to God and doctors. We're finally getting Dominic Mysterio versus AJ Styles. I think this is going to be a really fun match. I do anticipate New Day, Judgment Day getting involved. I think even Finn's going to get involved, but he may accidentally try to cost Dominic the match. But then again, we'll have to see because I know that things may have changed with Liv being hurt, so maybe they had to pull back on Finn turning heel, at least at this point. But I think Dominic Mysterio is going to continue to shine, and I think Dominic Mysterio is going to win this one by crook over AJ Styles. It's going to be a great match, though. So yeah, I got Dominic winning that one. Next up is Solo Sikoa versus Jacob Fatu in a steel cage match for the United States Championship match. Man, this is a lot of championship matches. Pretty much it's Championship Match Sunday, ain't it? Championship Match Sunday, that's what it is. Alright. I came up with that. Don't steal it from me. Anyways, okay, Solo Sikoa versus Jacob Fatu. Steel cage, I think Solo wins. Not because he's better than Jacob. I think Jacob is just going to have too much to overcome. being locked, because he's gonna end up being locked in the cage with all those damn MFTs and shit like that. So, and even with Jimmy helping, it's not going to help him so much. I do feel like Jacob is going to be freaking crazy in that match. He's gonna beat the crap out of Solo. I even have him jumping from the cage onto Solo or maybe to all the MFTs. And that's probably how he'll lose, because then he'll get hit with a Samoan Spike and that'll be the end. But I think Jacob is going to have just like Braun Breaker, he's going to be a breakout star. I mean, he's already a star, but I'm saying in that match, it's just going to be, he's going to do the most absolutely crazy things, and it's just going to get the crowd all riled up. And I think after this, and I still feel like him and Solo are still going to have a fight, because I feel like eventually it's going to be Jacob's crew versus Solo's crew, and we'll see what happens there. But I got Tama coming. I know would make sense, I guess, if Tama joined his brother with Solo, but seeing as how close he got with Jacob and how his father was tag teams with Jacob's father, if I'm not mistaken, that I could see him teaming up with Jacob. And I just feel like he's so over with the yeah that I just think that it would be the smart move to make him a babyface. And so then you have Jacob moving on to the World Heavyweight Championship scene, because they're making city themed shirts for him. And that's usually when they want to push their top guys, and they're saying they're gonna push him and Braun Breaker as the next megastars. And they said Rhea Ripley, but Rhea Ripley's already a freaking star, so I'm not understanding what that is. Maybe from TKO's position, because they, supposedly weren't really as high up on the women's division until Nick Khan, the right Khan, went up there and basically defended them in the sales and stuff like that, saying, yeah, women are a draw. So shout out to Nick Khan for that. But yeah, I think I have him moving into the him moving into the World Heavyweight Championship picture after his whole thing with Solo's done and over with. Actually, I got him going up pretty soon against somebody who's in the World Heavyweight Championship picture, but we'll get into that later. So Solo Sikoa will beat Jacob Fatu, because his MFTs is just too much against Jacob and Jimmy, who will try to help. So there's that. Next up, Naomi versus Io versus Rhea Ripley. My God, Evolution was the greatest PLE this year by 1,000 miles, and did not even have did not even have like a great build to it. But this right here, I'm all for it. But they had a great a match of the year. They had match of the year. And then Naomi came in and cast in on Io. And it was the new champ. Well deserved, by the way. I did have my reaction to it on my YouTube channel. But yeah, so Naomi's the new champ, and now she got defended against Io and Rhea Ripley in a triple threat. But unlike the last triple threat at WrestleMania, which I still feel Bianca Belair did not deserve to lose, and if she was going to not win that match, she should not have been the one to eat the pin. It should have been Rhea Ripley, because she had no business being in that match. But again, I said my piece on that a while ago during my reaction to that WrestleMania match. That great WrestleMania match, by the way. But yeah, I think Naomi's gonna win. And I think Rhea Ripley should finally eat the pin. I don't want Io Sky being pinned again. I don't want her being pinned again. She doesn't. This right here, Io Sky is the best wrestler in the world. You could put man or women. You could put them in any company. Io Sky is the best wrestler. Io Sky. I'm still waiting for that shirt that does this. Okay. I mean, I love Io Sky, but come on, y'all gotta do a little something. You gotta get this emote right here. Come on. I'll buy the shirt then. But Io Sky, to me, is the best wrestler in the world, and she's kind of showing it. Sorry, CM Punk, but she is. Uh, and she just got over so organically with the fans. I don't want her getting pinned again. Okay, there's no way Io or Rhea are winning this one. Naomi's winning it. I'll be pissed if Naomi loses. I swear to God, if Naomi loses, I'll be pissed as hell. Naomi wins this match. It'll be a fun match. Naomi wins it, and she'll pin Rhea Ripley. I just feel like Rhea needs to be pinned. If Rhea does not be pinned, then we can obviously, for certain, and this has been the sentiment amongst most of the IWC, that Rhea Ripley is Triple H's favorite. If Rhea does not get pinned in this match, we know who is the undisputed favorite in Triple H's mind. And that sucks. Alright, so Naomi gets the victory. And last, and certainly not least, John Cena versus Cody Rhodes. That already has kind of like a built-in storyline from WrestleMania, and going on past that, it's been the ongoing story. John Cena only came back last Friday, not yesterday, not last night, but the week before on SmackDown, to sign a contract with Cody Rhodes. Tried to weasel out of it. Cody Rhodes beat the crap out of him, put him through a table, forced him to sign it. I don't know how that's even legal. I don't know how it's gonna stand up, but it's WWE. So throw out logic. Throw out all logic. So John Cena versus Cody Rhodes. There's always been a lot of speculation. At first, I wanted a double turn. I don't know if that's gonna happen. I want it to happen. Here's the thing. I just feel like John Cena's holding on to that title all the way up until like the last PLE. I'll get into that in a minute, but I just feel like if Cody Rhodes is not truly turning heel here, then this will be the start, or like an arc where it starts to get into Cody's mind, because he's gonna go shoot the Street Fighter movie along with Roman Reigns, and I just feel like this is going to probably be the start where we may get the heel Cody thing. Now a lot of people will make it saying, well, he's like the top babyface right now. He's like bringing in all this money from merchandise and stuff like that. Now, if this was Vince's if Vince was still here, I would agree that yeah, Cody's not changing anytime soon, because that's what they did to John. But this is Triple H's era, and Triple H's era loves telling stories. So to me, I just feel like you have, and plus you have enough babyface take over. Jey Uso is like one of the most, if not the most over guy right now. You got Jacob Fatu, you got other guys stepping up to take over that babyface role that you don't necessarily need. And you can bring up Sami Zayn too, because Sami Zayn's right up there too. But you don't need Cody Rhodes to be like the babyface. You can go back and to the point where you had Rock and Austin, you can have interval baby faces. Roman Reigns is the babyface. Like I said, there's 1A and 1B. Roman Reigns is 1A, Cody Rhodes is 1B. You can switch them out, because now you got Roman Reigns as the babyface, and you got Cody Rhodes who can turn heel if you wanted to do that match. You got CM Punk who is a babyface. You have all these top guys right now that are babyfaces, that are supreme mega babyfaces. You do not need to have Cody Rhodes as a babyface. If you're telling a story, you could have Cody Rhodes turn heel after all this. And then John Cena starts to become more of a babyface. Now, there's two people who I feel like he could lose the title to. There's Drew McIntyre, who wants to put an end to John Cena. But I think maybe with him and Drew, I think that's when he starts becoming more of a babyface. Because I think he'll realize the error of his ways and see that maybe even Drew has a point in some of the things that he says. So I feel like John will then full on be a babyface after that. And then there's the supposed ruthless aggression PLE uh, in Boston. That's what I feel like he'll lose that title. Now, could he lose it PLE before? Possibly. But I feel like in this PLE, he will lose it. It's exclusively made for John Cena because ruthless aggression. And then he slapped the crap out of Kurt Angle. But this, I feel like, is he's going to go up against Jacob Fatu. Because Jacob Fatu, when you think of him, you think of aggression. You think of him as ruthless. You think of those things. So for me, it'll be a way of passing on the championship to someone like Jacob Fatu and let him run with it for a little bit, see where he's at, how great of a champion he can be. And John Cena gets to go right off into the sunset and just have his great final match, and while putting somebody over, which John said he really wants to do more of. So I feel like Jacob Fatu is going to be the champion by the end of the year. That's my bold prediction, everybody. Jacob Fatu will be WWE Undisputed Champion by the end of this year. He'll beat John, and John will have had his final match, and that will be the end of the GOAT. And it's tough for me to say that because I love The Rock, but The Rock's gone down a couple of notches because of some of the crap that he's done, just behind the scenes and stuff like that. And I just feel like John has really he's the quintessential guy that you would want to build a company around, because he's not only does he evoke such a response and have such a massive following, but he's a lifer, and there's no way he's the one person you'll say never would go to AEW. And to him, it's not about the money, it's about going out there and performing with the fans one last time, because he can't do it, and he said it before, he can't just do this stuff anymore. He can't do the same lifts anymore. He's got to let it go. But yeah, John Cena retains it, and John Cena beats Cody Rhodes in this street fight. It'll be a tough street fight for John. You know, he's got to go through a whole bunch and take a whole bunch of beatings. But John Cena's going to beat Cody Rhodes. All right, and also Cardi B's performing. I almost forgot about that. But that is it. That is the SummerSlam weekend cards that Sean Ross Sapp of Fightful Select had put on his Twitter page, so go follow him. But that's it. Those are my predictions. Those are my winners for each and every match. I think this will be a very fun and historic two-night, first time ever two-night SummerSlam in New Jersey. I will be live recording. I'll be recording live my reactions to each and every match. It's gonna be a lot of work, but it's also gonna be a lot of fun. So I can't wait to be able to watch, record, react, and post as soon as I can. Thank you guys for watching. I truly appreciate you guys even going through and watching this long ass video. I tried to make one earlier, but it's just like a lot of stuff was getting in the way. And so now I'm very glad to have done this. So let me know your thoughts. Who do you think will win? Who's your winners of each and every match? Let me know in the comment section. If y'all feel like it, give it a like. Share the video. Thank you so much. I truly appreciate this. Guys, stay safe out there, because just each and every day just keeps on getting crazier, and you never know what happens next. So just be safe, and always tell your loved ones how much you love them. people that have your back. Always appreciate those people. Alright. Thank you guys. I'm logging off. Getting ready for a Comic Con or whatever kind of trailers they got going. It's going to be a busy weekend where that's concerned. But yeah. Thank you guys. Love you.